Do you care if I look at the camera, or can I look at you, or like, does it matter? Okay. My name is Grace McLeod. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I went to Augusta Prep, really small private school. Graduated with 40 people, and I am a senior at the University of Georgia. So I took 4 out of the 5 APs offered, but they didn't allow us to dual enroll either. So they offered some honors courses, so I took all the honors courses. Whether you were taking the regular honors or like AP level, the teachers were definitely the main one that you would go to asking which course you took, but at the end of the day, it was completely up to you. I played volleyball and tennis. I was a part of Schools for Schools Club, where we just raised money for a school in an underdeveloped country. I was the president of the Schools for Schools Club, and I was the captain of the volleyball team and the tennis team my senior year. Immediately when I turned 16, I was eligible, so I started volunteering at our hospital. I was a youth ambassador there as well my senior year. Volunteered for the Red Cross. I played travel volleyball for 1 year. Started thinking about colleges for myself my junior year. For my older sisters, they were very involved. For me, they were not as involved. They knew, I knew exactly what kind of school I wanted, and they trusted that I could get the applications done or ask for help when I needed it. I think was just the overall excitement of it all, and graduating with 40 people, you were just ready to move on to bigger, better things, and I just think the excitement of it all was really fun. I think the worst part, the anticipation of the decisions, once you started hearing back from schools, that was hard. Also just people asking you, where do you want to go? Clearly you didn't know yet, or you hadn't heard back from that school, so that was a lot of pressure just from others too. For my school specifically, since I graduated with 40, so super small school, they really catered to smaller schools or smaller colleges. So for me, only wanting to go to big SEC schools, they didn't really give me really the time of day. They just assumed I was fine. They knew that I was kind of just a piece of paper with numbers, and they knew there wasn't that much they could do other than help me with my essays to help me get in. But thankfully I found someone else outside of school to help me with the essays and just help me try to make my application as personal as possible. Essays, just having someone proofread them, trying to some of the essays they were so simple yet to tell a funny story. It's trying to help me brainstorm what's the one funniest story, or just trying to make it as personal as possible, and also compact it into, because I think the word count was so small. It was such a simple yet difficult task. I took them all my junior year, SAT and then the ACT. At first, I discovered that I was way better at the ACT, and then I went on to take the ACT 2 more times because that's just my personality, and every time I take something and I can do it again, I think I can do better, so I just kept taking it. I'm a very slow test taker, so I took a class after I took both tests once. I took a class and explained to me the layout, just how to speed up and to just work on some of the sections I think I struggled with or just took more time on. I knew I wanted to go to a big SEC school that kind of cut out a lot of schools, but I toured a bunch of other schools that were similar or that I didn't completely cut off the list, and then I made, from that, after the tours, I made a list of target schools, reach schools, and backup schools, and so that's how I composed my list. I think I went to over 20 with my sisters, but it was funny that I looking back, I would never go to any of those schools that we toured. So it was I think that definitely helped with which ones I wanted to tour. But I think I toured 8 in person. There was no virtual. This was pre-COVID. I really didn't have that many reach schools. This was probably Georgia was my reach school, so it was 5 accepted, 1 wait list, and then that one turned into accepted. Definitely did not have probably the best mindset about what I was looking for in a school, what the campus atmosphere was like, if they had Greek life, what the town was like, proximity to home. I knew I wanted to stay in the South or be a car ride away. I really just didn't want to get on a plane like my older sister had to do. Definitely the in-state tuition. Athens, after learning how many kids from my high school got accepted, it was just like a no-brainer that I had to go, and I don't regret it at all. I think the hardest part was eating healthy. The dining hall was incredible. The most unexpected part was figure out where your classes were on your own. I'm sure there maybe was someone to ask you, like your TA. I didn't, but like I kind of wasn't expecting that. Or even just like signing up for classes, I thought was the most overwhelming process possible, and I think that was very true because we go to a huge school. So that was something I didn't expect, because I just assumed that if everyone can figure it out, I can figure it out. But I think that was a lot more stressful than I thought. I'm a psychology major. I was not able to study abroad because of COVID. I planned to technically study abroad this summer of our sophomore year. It got canceled the past 2 summers. I was sad I missed out on that opportunity. So sorority, pre-PA club, and the UGA mentor program, which has been a little different with COVID. No sports. I should have. I regret it. PA school, pre-rec classes were a little harder than I anticipated. I think that was also because my high school didn't have great science classes, so I definitely didn't feel prepared for that. But I think the remaining classes were easier, mostly because I think I say easier because there was just less busy work. I was very used to the busy work, just loads of homework in high school that I just felt like I had no downtime. And I feel like when I have downtime, that's why I would say the word easier. I thought it would feel larger. Like joining Greek life, it definitely made the school feel a lot smaller. It just gave me a really small social circle, which I really enjoy, so I just definitely don't feel like lost in the sea at all. I knew I was pre-PA since day one, like probably my junior year of high school, but I just never thought to look at colleges that offered pre-PA as a major. It's something that makes me so frustrated looking back, and instead I went here and majored in psych, and I took over 30 credits of the classes I just did not need for my major or to graduate solely to apply to PA school. And now looking back, you know, I say PA school, but I also would have been so happy nurse practitioner route. Again, Georgia doesn't offer or have a traditional nursing school here, and I just never thought to look at schools that really were had that that exact major. I just assumed all big schools would have the major, and I just never thought to really look into that. Just try to get involved in things you really enjoy, but also it's high school, so try new things. If you have an idea of what you want to major in college, maybe do something related to that as well. I knew I wanted to go into healthcare, so that's why I volunteered at the hospital. So I think it was a great thing to talk about in my application, and it also can also just help you see if you actually do want to major in that or go into that field eventually. It may strike it off the list, and that's a great thing as well. especially like 9th and 10th, like don't put too much pressure on yourself about college. I think those are just some really fun years, and join the clubs, try sport, enjoy it while it lasts, and don't let college like consume your entire high school experience. I think it's crazy how we like end of sophomore year, the college advisors are already talking to you about college and telling you to start touring and make a list. And so definitely take those first years to just enjoy it and like try new things and just enjoy it while it lasts. I didn't think about that question. Okay.